Right now at 5, 4-state shoppers stock up on supplies as winter weather approaches.
Winter weather is here. Take a look at the cameras. Snow is falling already, leading to reduced visibilities. We'll have a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, an organization in Oklahoma opens its doors to the homeless population ahead of the storm.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Tuesday. It is February the 18th, and it is an alert day. It is an alert day the next 3 days, actually. That's not because it's going to snow for 3 days, thankfully. That would be a totally different situation, but because we have dangerously cold temperatures associated with this snowfall as well. It's a double whammy, and snow's already falling.
Yes.
Been looking on the cameras, especially on the Kansas side from KDOT. We are looking at already some reduced visibilities. The snow is coming down pretty good, and those winds are gusting. Yeah, it's going to be a rough morning. We're going to look at all of that here in just a moment.
And our very own Samantha Walker is outside the station braving the weather. Good morning, Samantha. How are the conditions out there right now?
Well, right now, like you said, Chris, I am feeling the cold. The snow is definitely coming down. I think you can see it in my hair and my scarf. You know, when I was coming into the station about 2 a.m., it was clear, not a snowflake in sight, but that is not the case right now. It is definitely cold, and I think the cold winds blowing is actually what's making it even worse. I feel like I have to keep moving or else I'm going to freeze in place right now. Behind us is US 69. There's been a few people who are driving past it. You know, there's not too much on the ground yet, but it's definitely coming down, and it's definitely starting to accumulate a bit. And you can see drivers are definitely paying attention to that. They're going pretty slow. Right now, it's not super heavy, but we know what'll come. We'll keep track all morning. Right back at you in the studio.
All right, Samantha, thanks.
So, and as she mentioned, you know, the roads are going to deteriorate pretty quickly. In fact, we can show you some of the deterioration that's already taking place. Live look downtown Pittsburgh right now. Our camera at 4th and Broadway. Those roads were not covered. Let's see, it's 5:02. So I want to say it started snowing about half an hour ago. Things were fine. Not fine anymore. We have a number of school organization closings or cancellations, or others are closing early today. And those are all at the bottom of your screen. And if they don't show up there sometimes, they're always on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. We're going to take some time. We're going to get through all of this, but take a look. You can see in the street lights, the snow pretty good. These roads becoming covered quickly out there, and you can see that haze. That's not fog, and that's not a fire. That is the snow coming down, and then the wind in concert with that, reducing visibilities. KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue, 69 already getting covered. Road crews have been out, but again, this is a lot of snow and bitterly cold temperatures. It's not, they're going to have to keep working and working and working, so the fewer of us that are out there, the better. Now, the snow just getting underway on the Missouri side in Joplin. You can kind of see it in this street light here on Range Line. So we're looking out there. Roads right now look okay. It's 7th and Range Line. 32nd and Range Line. We're looking back to the east. And again, so far, it's all right. But if you look, you can see it kind of lining up around the median out there. Headed over to the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. Still okay for the time being. But again, it is just getting underway, okay, in Missouri. You saw what it looked like in Pittsburgh just now. And we're going to take another look at I-44 cameras around the metro. This is at Main Street, looking back to the north along Main Street from I-44 in Joplin. This is over at mile marker 4. We've got a couple of vehicles. They've been stopped there for a while, so I'm not sure. I don't think that's related to the weather. Then we've got the other two MoDOT cameras. Again, looking okay so far, but before too much longer, it is not going to be looking so okay. Already reports covered roadways from KDOT in parts of southeastern Kansas. This includes Fort Scott down to Girard, just north of Pittsburgh, Chanute, Iola, Burlington, Garnett, Fredonia. We're getting the partly covered roadways down south of that, and of course that will continue to change. In our zone, again, please remember there's something wrong with this map. This is not clear. It's always showing clear on I-49 between Butler and Nevada, but it is not. It is covered. It is covered on I-49 all the way into northern Jasper County, so that includes through Lamar and into Jasper itself, just to the north of Carthage here. And then 43 coming out of Joplin heading up to to 54. So Nevada, Stockton, Greenfield, Osceola, we have covered roadways. Clear down south, but again, that will not last. So here's a look at that snow, where you can see across southeastern Kansas. We have those pockets where right now there are flurries, but we're going to get more heavy snow out there. I'm going to adjust these maps so we don't have to go through them so quickly here, but either way you paint it, snow across the entire region and spreading quickly. So Nevada, Osceola, Stockton, that's why we've covered up here. It's been snowing longer in the northern portion of our area. The snow will continue to push from west to east and eventually spreading from north to south. We'll see more snow develop, and it will get heavier out there as we head into the afternoon. And temperatures, the other problem is we've already hit our highs. They're going to be dropping as we go through the day out there, back into the single digits as we go into the afternoon and evening. Already bitterly cold now, going to be dangerously cold. We'll have another look at the snow. We'll take a look at those snow totals and those temperatures for you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Joplin first responders were alerted to reports of a shooting Monday evening. Around 6:30 near the 800 block of South Florida, a male was found suffering from a gunshot wound. Now, this was a non-fatal wound, and he was rushed by ambulance to an area hospital. For now, the parking lot of the apartments in the 800 block of South Florida Avenue are wrapped in crime scene tape as officers are conducting a shooting investigation. JPD tells us there is no threat to the public. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. And as the winter weather approached, people across the 4 states were stocking up on supplies. Now, a number of stores were busy yesterday, including hardware stores and pharmacies, as people rush to get what they need while they still can.
It's the calm before the storm, and it's not very calm in here. Both stores probably got 3 dozen sleds, and every person I've seen, every group of people have been carrying sleds, so they won't last, much longer.
We have a shower drain that does not like when it gets real cold, so we're grabbing some stuff to try to keep that from freezing over the next few days.
The grocery stores around the area were also busy yesterday, as some people might be unable to get out of their homes in the next day or two ahead. Well, for a full list of closings in the area due to winter weather, you can just scan this QR code. School, government, church closings, and more are available. Now, the QR code will take you straight to the closings page of our website. Once there, you can also find instructions on how to submit other closings. And you can also get the latest road conditions and power outages across the area anytime through this QR code. It'll direct you to links on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, for information for each of the 4 states in our viewing area. The Oklahoma Emergency Response Team in Miami is working to make sure unhoused people have a warm place to stay. Now, currently, they're sheltering between 30 to 40 people. The organization is also providing 3 meals a day for those staying at their shelter. Rick Aldridge, the director of the organization, says his goal is to help people living on the street avoid harsh weather that could lead to health issues.
I have a concern of frostbite. That's very dangerous. As you know, you're going to wind up losing that limb or whatever it is. So we're very concerned because a lot of our folks that are out there are not properly dressed.
Now, the organization is in need of donations like boots, gloves, and hats. Now, to look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The 7th-ranked Missouri Southern baseball hosts Missouri S&T. We'll have those details. Plus, Mount Etna in Italy continues to erupt, disrupting air traffic around the area. And we're tracking snow amounts for today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, Missouri Southern baseball was back at home yesterday for their final tune-up before conference play gets started this Friday. 7th-ranked Missouri Southern baseball with a non-conference game against Missouri S&T to start the week. Casey Salzer gets the start on the mound, and he's rolling early. Gets a strikeout looking in the top of the 2nd. Then a swing strikeout in the 3rd. We're scoreless in the 4th. S&T with a runner on first, trying to advance on a pitch in the dirt, but Chayton Beck fires a missile to 2nd, and gets him out. And Salter gets a backwards K to end the inning. He goes 6 1/3, allowing 1 run. Lions look a while to heat up the plate. Beck smacks a single into the left in the 6th, but would get stranded. Now in the bottom of the 7th, Will Daughtry bounces 1 to second and beats out the throw to first. Lions trail 2-0, but they score 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to win it 3-2. Webb City girls basketball back in the Cardinal Dome, playing host to the winless Parkview Vikings. On the opening tip-off, Cardinals set the tone. Adeline Maxwell gets it and passes to Abby Sargent, who drives up to the basket for an easy layup just seconds into the game. Not much later, a skip pass is snagged out of the air by Sargent. Then on the other end, she finishes what she started, top of the key, and that's good for 3 points. Webb City leads by 12 in the first quarter. Vikings again looking to claw back, but Addie Burns makes an insane block on the 3-point try. And just before halftime, Sargent finds an opening, Chastney Brown, and she sinks the corner 3. Now, it was never really close to begin with. Webb City takes down Parkview 68-25. Lady Cardinals win their 3rd in a row. And still to come, FDA updates the risk level on recalled granola bars. Plus, a check of the 7-day forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:16 on this Alert Day Tuesday. Starting, we're going to take a look at cameras around the area. We're going to take a look at road conditions, where the snow is, the snow totals. We're going to get to all of this for you, and we're going to talk about the dangerous cold. We got a lot to discuss with you this morning. This is downtown Pittsburgh. Our camera, again, located right there at the corner of 4th and Broadway, and you can see the roads have become rather quickly covered. Still snow falling. This initial round of snow will eventually kind of wrap up, but don't worry, because if you really like the snow, you're really looking forward to all that heavy snow, it's going to begin. There's going to be a new round of snow that's going to come in, and that's going to start dumping even more. Now, because of that, though, we're going to get some wild accumulation amounts initially. You're going to be varying pretty quickly across the area, but this is Broadway, and you can see it is already covered, as are many streets there. KDOT camera at Kansas Crossing. Now, this one's positioned the same way it was last time. So this is that exit, the right turn out of Kansas Crossing. So this is 69 looking back to the south. You can see the snow. You can see it's sticking already. It's beginning to accumulate on the highway out there. Heading just north of that at East 520th Avenue. Snow on the shoulder, snow down the center, snow in the lanes. And again, road crews have been out, but we're going to get a lot of snow, and it is very cold, and the snow is going to be able to stick very easily. Over onto the Missouri side, I'm not sure what's up here, but there's a couple of vehicles parked here on this exit ramp. This is at mile marker 4. Now, I'm trying to get the bearings. It's a little dark, but I can see a traffic light. I want to say this is probably pointed back to the south, like towards Seneca. But again, it's a little difficult to tell with it being dark right now there. Over here at Main Street, this is looking back along Main Street from I-44 to the north. It's looking okay. Then we've got the one at Range Line looking back to the east. And again, looks okay, but you can see what looks like some of that snow on the edges of the on-ramp there. And then over at 249 and I-44, right now we've got a better shot of this pole here, but you can see the roadways, again, at this point, clear on the Missouri side. Take a look at that snow now. Now, this is that heavier band that just was in Pittsburgh. Look at it now on our camera here at 7th and Range Line, how heavy, how much it's coming down, and the winds. That's the other problem we're facing, is the blowing snow, leading to reduced visibility. So again, right now, the roadways are okay, but they will not stay that way for very long. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line. You can see that haze out there from that blowing snow. We'll head down to 32nd and Range Line. Again, on the Missouri side, south of 54. We're okay. You start heading a little further north. It's been snowing a little longer. It is still snowing, not looking as good. So here's a look at road conditions in our area. Already covered roadways. This includes around Fort Scott, Chanute, Iola, Fredonia, Burlington, Garnett, down toward Parsons. And we have partially covered roadways out here south of that zone. So Pittsburgh, going back toward Columbus, Galena, Riverton. So again, it's just starting. it's going to get worse, unfortunately. On to the Missouri side, so far covered. I-49 is covered from about Harrisonville all the way down just south of Jasper, but not quite to Carthage yet. 43 is covered from Joplin all the way up to 54. That does include 54. So Osceola, Stockton, Greenfield, Lamar, Jasper, and Nevada all dealing with covered roadways. Clear down south, and the reason for that is the snow isn't quite that far south yet. This, again, remember we talked about this with blowing snow last time. This is not just fog. This is the visibility tracker. And you can see Iola down to 0.4 of a mile of visibility. Most of Crawford County and Bourbon County into western Vernon and Barton counties, reduced visibilities from heavy blowing snow. So that's why if you don't have to be out today, don't, unless it's an emergency. So here's that snow, the heavier snow again crossing onto the Missouri side now. That's including all of I-49, all of 69, stretching back across parts of southeast Kansas. Light snow and flurries into northeastern Oklahoma at this point, including Miami, Grove, and Nita, and stretching back toward Nowata and Bartlesville out there. Onto the Missouri side, if this will go, this is not the time for this remote to die on me. Again, a heavier snow stretching along I-49 up toward Osceola, Stockton, Greenfield, and back to the west, but filling in down south. So all of 49 from Arkansas all the way through is being impacted by snow, and you can see where we're dealing with that across the area, and we'll continue to see new development and additional snow that will begin to fill in out there. Reminder, cold weather advisory in this dark blue, extreme cold warnings here because we could see wind chills upwards of 15 below zero. This snow will continue with us through today and into the evening hours. It won't be, here we are at 10, it won't be until late this evening that the bulk of the snow is gone, and then we start to see the flurry activity. Quick look at those possible totals for us. Again, still in this pink zone, upwards of 9 to 13 inches, and locally higher amounts will absolutely be possible. Quick check of that extended forecast for you. Again, today, we've already hit our highs. Temperatures are going to be dropping through the day. 0 tonight. 11 tomorrow, 6 below tomorrow night, flurries breezy, so wind chills again up to 15 below over the next 3 days. And then we'll start to warm up, a little cool this weekend, 30s, and then next week we're still on par for near 60-degree temperatures. Near 60 a week from now. So stay home, stay safe, stay off the roads, and if we all get through this together, then we can all celebrate next week when it's in the upper 50s. That's Check Your Forecast. We'll continue to monitor road conditions and have more on that here in just a little bit, and we'll be back with Health Watch after this.
Well, in Health Watch this morning, a natural granola bar product is being elevated in recall status because of possible contamination. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has upgraded a December recall of the Made Good natural granola bars to a Class 2 risk level. The FDA says the risk was increased because of potential metal contamination from a brush bristle used in the manufacturing process. Now, Class 2 designation means the products could cause adverse health consequences if consumed. The recalled products were produced between January 2024 and November 2024 and include flavors such as the chocolate chip, mixed berry, cookies and cream, chocolate drizzled birthday cake, and chocolate banana. No injuries or illnesses have been reported from product consumption. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves the snow across the area. Alert day in place. We are going to have the latest on the deteriorating road conditions and the dangerous cold when we come back.
Well, in Health Watch this morning, a natural granola bar product is being elevated in recall status because of possible contamination. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has upgraded a December recall of the Made Good natural granola bars to a Class 2 risk level. The FDA says the risk was increased because of potential metal contamination from a brush bristle used in the manufacturing process. Now, Class 2 designation means the products could cause adverse health consequences if consumed. The recalled products were produced between January 2024 and November 2024 and include flavors such as the chocolate chip, mixed berry, cookies and cream, chocolate drizzled birthday cake, and chocolate banana. No injuries or illnesses have been reported from product consumption. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves the snow across the area. Alert day in place. We are going to have the latest on the deteriorating road conditions and the dangerous cold when we come back.
super sale at Furniture Row has been extended. So there's still time to save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last. Or score 60 months no interest. But hurry, the extended President's Day super sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
It's here, the 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Check out these hot deals all after 11% rebate. A 3-panel folding LED light is just $1.99. A pair of lined suede gloves, only $5.99. Get a gallon of white vinegar, just $1.89. An 8-pack of bubbly sparkling water, only $3.49. These great deals won't last long, so save today. Plus, sign up for Menards emails for more big savings right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. The Lord is my shepherd.
David, live on stage in Branson, Missouri.
The signs are everywhere. It's time for Truck Month at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get up to $6,000 cash on F-150 and save on Ford Super Duty. Both part of F-Series, America's best-selling truck lineup for 48 years. Hurry in, folks. These trucks are running. Drive a new Ford F-150 with up to $6,000 cash or 1.9 financing plus $3,250 cash. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
You deserve an escape. You deserve to look and feel your best. You deserve the love that you're always trying to give everyone else. You deserve an oasis. Oasis Salon and Day Spa. Gift certificates are available now. The perfect gift for any occasion.
The President's Day super sale at Denver Mattress has been extended, so there's still time to save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Colorado Twin for only $149.99 or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. But hurry, the extended President's Day super sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
The Downtown Pittsburgh Camera is sponsored by Pittsburgh State University and the City of Pittsburgh.
Right now at 5:30, parents in Joplin take advantage of kindergarten pre-enrollment.
And we have an alert date today. Snow already falling across the area, more on the way, and dangerous cold behind all of this. Well, the latest coming up.
Plus, a clothing drive at Missouri Southern hopes to help prepare students for the next steps in their career.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:28. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Tuesday. It is snow day, February the 18th.
Yes.
So here we are. It is starting. We're getting the initial round of this now, and more is on the way. Road conditions, by the way, already deteriorating quickly, and visibility is deteriorating. Right. So hopefully yesterday you took time to do what you need to do. And I'm going to be perfectly honest, there was one thing I needed to do because I know what's going to happen, and I didn't.
Well,
I will be honest, and I know some of you are going to say the same thing, though. I'm the one giving the advice, and I still didn't follow it. Yeah. Most everything's done. It's just one thing I didn't do. And I'm sure many of you are in the same boat, but hopefully got the essential stuff done because we have got that snow out there.
We certainly do.
It's going to be. It's just I can't talk about how cold it is. So I think we talked yesterday about you guys getting to see us all day today. Yeah. I think we're going to be okay. Maybe getting home. We'll find out. We'll find out soon enough.
Fingers crossed. I mean,
but
that doesn't mean that you guys should be going out there, though.
No, you absolutely shouldn't. But hey, our very own Samantha Walker, though, right now outside braving the cold. You and I have both done that, yes. And now Samantha gets to do that.
Samantha, how is it looking out there?
Yeah, I'm out here, so you don't have to be. We were out here just about 30 minutes ago. Let me tell you, it is way worse than it was earlier. It is snowing way harder. I feel like I'm getting absolutely pelted right now with snowflakes. The wind is pretty strong, and I can see drivers being even more and more cautious on US 69. It's way more coverage. I'm expecting it's going to get worse. I know, Chris, you said it's going to be worse. We're going to be out here all morning kind of monitoring these conditions, giving you some live updates throughout the morning. But like for right now, it is cold and it is snowing, and I am not loving it, but I am enjoying the experience. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, stay warm, Samantha. Thanks.
Well, and just to make it feel a little better, I did turn the air down in here. I was getting hot, so
It
but
was
it's
getting a
yeah,
little
we
toasty in
we
here.
could certainly make it like an Arctic tundra in here,
Yes.
just so she doesn't suffer
Hopefully,
alone.
yes.
But we're going to take a look outside now with our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. Take a look at the snow on the roadways. Now, again, it's eased up just a bit. It is not done, and that's going to be a thing. We're getting this little round of snow right now. It may ease up for a bit, maybe even stop almost. Don't let that fool you into thinking, boy, wow, the weathermen didn't know what they were talking about. It's done snowing. This is just a little round that's coming through right now. The main event is going to be here very soon, very shortly following this. So you can see in the street light, you can barely see it, but it is still snowing out there. The road conditions deteriorate. Look at 69 since the last time we saw it. Road conditions, again, not looking so great. Plow crews are out. They're doing their best, but this snow is going to come down heavy. It's going to come down hard. Our camera at 7th and Rangeline, again, get a little bit of that haze out there because we're getting the heavy blowing snow, which you can now see here in the street light on Rangeline, and it's slowly starting to stick to the roadways. They're still looking okay. I mean, you see the parking lot here at Forest Park sticking very well. MoDOT camera 32nd and Rangeline. The MoDOT crews are awake this morning as well. They've pointed this now back to the north along Rangeline, and again, if you look, you can start to see where snow is progressively beginning to stick out there on the roadways. Same from the MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. It's actually looking pretty good, but you see that haze. Again, that's not fog. That's just the reduced visibilities from that heavy snow. I-44 cameras around the area. Okay, so Rangeline, they have switched back around to the north. So this is looking north. You can see the lights at the diverging diamond are in flash mode right now, but you can also see the snow starting to stick out there. This is at I-44 exit 4. I believe it's looking back toward the south, but it is, I'll be honest, it's difficult to tell. All I can see is there's a traffic light out there. I think it's pointed south. Main Street, looking north along Main Street. Look at Main Street now. Not long ago, it was clear. It is no longer clear at this point. So we're going to have to be dealing with this snow for a while. And as we mentioned yesterday, if you don't have to be out, absolutely do not be unless it's an emergency. Covered roadways already being reported across southeastern Kansas. Iola, Chanute, Fredonia, Parsons, Oswego, Burlington, Garnett, down to Fort Scott, into Girard, north of Pittsburgh. Covered roadways, and then partly covered outside of that, and that will continue to deteriorate as the morning goes on. That's the other thing we're going to have to keep in mind here. On the Missouri side, I-49 from about Harrisonville through Bates County all the way into Jasper and just north of Carthage, listed as covered. 43 coming out of Joplin, so you're looking at 171 here. Coming out of Joplin is covered. That includes 160, 54, so Stockton, Osceola, Nevada, Lamar, Jasper, Greenfield dealing with it. Now look, I-44 just to the east of Joplin, that's not I-44, I apologize. It's 96 listed as covered. And it will continue to happen. Look at the snow. It is spreading across the entire area. We've had more snow up north so far, so that's why accumulation amounts, at least right now, are going to be dropping off suddenly on you, but we have more snow that's going to be building in and filling in out here, and it's going to get very heavy at times, and it will be sticking with us again all day. We'll have this snow until about 10 o'clock tonight before it'll start to ease up a bit and turn into flurries. And as I mentioned, on top of that, temperatures dropping through the day. Already cold. 8 Fort Scott and Iola, 9 in Yates Center. Down south, a little warmer, low 20s out there. And then those wind chills, the wind's picking up, already 10 below. Yates Center, Iola, Fort Scott, Nevada, the 54 corridor right there. And wind chills, even where it's a little warmer, are dangerously cold across the area. Again, temperatures dropping, which means wind chills will follow suit. We'll have that heavy blowing snow through the day, 15 by 9 a.m. down to about 10 by 6 this evening. We'll have another look at your forecast. We're going to talk about the dangerous cold because we have alert days today, tomorrow, and Thursday because of that. And we'll talk about this snow and keep an eye on those road conditions for you coming up. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, it's time for kindergarten pre-enrollment in Joplin for the 2025-26 school year. Yesterday, forms were open on joplinschools.org/kindergarten. Families with students who will be 5 years old before August 1st, 2025 and who live within district boundaries are eligible to attend Joplin Schools kindergarten programs. Now, for school staff at Irving Elementary, they can't wait to welcome the next class of Little Eagles.
For the parents, they're just going to have a lot of paperwork to do. For the kid, it's a really exciting time. They get to go to the big school. They get to have classmates and peers. About half of our students usually don't have an early learning experience, and so this could be their very first time in a structured environment.
The Joplin School District says that during the pre-enrollment and screening process, eligibility for transitional kindergarten will also be determined. Well, donations are being collected to help Missouri Southern students be ready for their future careers. The Career Services Office at the university is collecting professional clothing items for the Dress to Impress event on February 26th. Now, students can receive items like slacks, blazers, dresses, and shoes. Now, since the event started more than a decade ago, organizers have collected over 20,000 garments and helped more than 3,000 students prepare for the future.
They're living on campus, they're going to class, but they don't realize how many people in our community truly care about them being successful. And Dress to Impress is a very tangible event that shows how much their community wants to give them not just a handout, but a hand up to encourage them to be successful post-graduation.
Clothing donations are being accepted until February 24th. Organizers say they also need volunteers in the days ahead of and during the event. You can learn how to help on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, KOAM's first flag swap of 2025 took place yesterday at Roper Honda in Joplin. People could come out and swap their tattered old flags for brand new ones. The day always serves as a way to give something to the community and a way to express some national pride.
Expression of our patriotic duty to be flying fresh and non-tattered flags. It is truly an expression of our patriotism.
And keep an eye on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, for more information about the next Great American Flag Swap. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Protesters in Jerusalem call for an extension of the Gaza ceasefire to release the remaining hostages. Plus, an investigation is ongoing after a plane crashed in Toronto. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, topping World Watch, Italy's Mount Etna continues to erupt, producing substantial lava flows and ash, which is disrupting air traffic around Sicily. That's the first eruption of the year for Europe's most active volcano. It started Wednesday with substantial amounts of ash and lava flowing down the mountain. Now, there's no immediate threat to inhabited areas at this point, but as a result of the volcanic activity, Catania Airport diverted dozens of flights over the weekend due to the spread of clouds of ash. And protesters in Jerusalem call for a ceasefire extension in the Israel-Hamas war. Demonstrators yesterday waving flags and banners as they demand the Israel-Hamas ceasefire be extended. So more hostages who were abducted in the October 7th, 2023 attack can be freed from captivity in Gaza. Now, Hamas has been gradually releasing 33 hostages in exchange for nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, but those here say it's not enough. Hamas is expected to release more than 70 remaining hostages in exchange for more Palestinian prisoners and a lasting ceasefire. Around half of those hostages are believed to be dead. An investigation in its early stages into exactly what caused a Delta flight to crash land on a runway in Canada Monday afternoon. The plane ended up upside down after an attempt to land apparently went haywire. Fox's Kevin Uretsky has the latest.
Frightening moments on board a Delta flight Monday in Canada. Emergency responders on the tarmac at Toronto Pearson Airport, where the plane crash landed on the runway. The plane seen flipped upside down, with its wings apparently sheared off.
This airplane just crashed at 23.
The aircraft, identified as a Mitsubishi CRJ-900LR operated by Delta, took off from Minneapolis Monday afternoon. All 80 people on board were evacuated after the crash. Officials say, incredibly, there was no loss of life, hailing first responders for getting to the scene quickly.
Airport emergency workers mounted a textbook response, reaching the site within minutes and quickly evacuating the passengers. There were no fatalities.
18 injured passengers have been transported to the local area hospitals. We had one additional passenger recently transported to a hospital.
While no official cause has been given for the crash, conditions on the ground were far from ideal. A winter storm hit Toronto over the weekend. Blowing snow and wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour were reported on Monday.
The aircraft is upside down and burning.
The airport's social media accounts had posted earlier on Monday that they were expecting a busy day, hoping to catch up after the weekend's delays. Monday's incident is the latest in a string of deadly and concerning aviation accidents across North America. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada will lead the investigation into what happened.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:45 now on this Tuesday morning. It's an alert day for the snow. We also have alert days in place because of the dangerous cold. We're going to talk about road conditions, but I also want to talk about a new update that came down. We're looking at this point, some of the heaviest snow, the main snow event, start rolling in late this morning into the afternoon hours, and we could see blizzard-like conditions when we get those heavier bands of snow. Now at this point, looking at some of the data, may not quite reach blizzard criteria, but we're talking very dangerous travel, if not impossible travel. We mentioned this yesterday. I'm emphasizing it again today. KDOT already reporting a number of covered highways into our parts of southeast Kansas. This includes around Parsons, Girard, Fort Scott, south of Mound City, Garnett, Burlington, Iola, Chanute, Oswego, Fredonia, Yates Center, Burlington. You don't want to be out traveling. Partly covered roadways outside of that as the snow continues to spread out there. So that's now including through Pittsburgh, into Columbus, Baxter Springs, Riverton, and heading to points south. And then we go on to the Missouri side, and no improvements. In fact, we are seeing worse conditions. We have I-49 listed as covered from just outside of Harrisonville all the way down now through Carthage to I-44, and then portions of it covered again heading back down toward Neosho. A number of Joplin's roads now that MoDOT controls are being reported as covered. So we're talking 171, we're talking portions of 7th Street, 32nd Street, Range Line are listed as covered. 96 heading east toward Springfield, parts of I-44 now around Mount Vernon, and then stretching down heading toward Monette. It is continuing to deteriorate. This is an expectation. We told you road conditions were going to be awful, and they were going to get worse, and they were going to do so quickly, and that's exactly what's happening. Now, here's the thing. You can see where the heavier parts of the snow are, because this is where our visibilities are the most reduced. We had 0.4 of a mile of visibility in Iola. It's now shifted down toward Pittsburgh. Joplin, you were doing fine not long ago, now down to 1.5 miles at the last report, 0.5 mile in Pittsburgh. This is where that heavier band of snow is. So again, remember on the fog tracker, it's really a visibility tracker, whatever the visibility being reported is. And you can see that this heavy snow is having an impact. Now wait until a little later this afternoon when we have broader bands of heavy snow causing significantly reduced visibilities over larger areas. This is again why we are emphasizing, unless it is an absolute emergency, you do not travel today, especially as we head through the afternoon. Hopefully you got stuff done yesterday. Here's a look at the snow. This is the initial round of snow we're getting. Again, heavier snow, more of it on the way as we head into the afternoon hours. We'll have more of it filling in, and you can see where we're getting some of that starting to build in parts of Elk and Chautauqua County, stretching back toward Emporia, and then I-35 down from Salina to Wichita. And again, that's the same path of the winter storm warnings off to the north and west. Cold weather advisories, extreme cold warnings. That's the other half of our alert days that we have in place. We are talking, in some cases, wind chills down to 15 below zero. Okay, this is dangerous cold. This is very dangerous, if not potentially life-threatening cold if you're outside for too long. So please just don't, okay? Sit inside, look out the window, watch the snow, do that, okay? That's the best thing you can do today and probably tomorrow. And I know a number of schools, I already heard this morning, have already gone ahead and canceled for today and tomorrow. Some are only today. I imagine they'll be out tomorrow too, unless we get some kind of crazy snowplow miracle. And I know road crews will be working very hard, but it's going to take time to clear off 9 to 13 inches of snow across a broad portion of our area. And outside of that, 6 to 10 inches possible. So this is not snow that's messing around. You can see where that cold barrier is 8 along the 54 corridor in southeast Kansas. So Yates Center, Iola, Fort Scott, 10 Nevada, 12 Stockton. Warmer down south, but I'm going to tell you right now, once you factor in that northeast breeze that's causing the reduced visibilities with the heavy snow, it doesn't matter how warm it is. And this is what we mean too with the cold weather and the extreme cold warnings. Look at these wind chills. The 54 corridor is still the coldest, anywhere now 10 to 12 below zero. And we mentioned it could be as low as 15 below zero. So we're talking dangerously cold out there. You don't want to be outside unless you absolutely have to. Our camera 7th and range line continues to deteriorate. You've got that heavy blowing snow out there. That's going to be the case all day. Temperatures falling, by the way. We've already reached our highs down into the teens and slowly falling through the day. Eventually 0 tonight. Upper single digits, low teens tomorrow. Teens on Thursday, 6 below for the low on Wednesday, 0 Thursday. Cool this weekend, and then back up to spring-like weather next week. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, a truly incredible moment captured on camera in South American waters shows a kayaker's too close for comfort encounter with a whale that saw him briefly swallowed by the majestic mammal. Well, you have to see it to believe it. Jeremy Roth has that in today's Take a Look at This.
Take a look at the unbelievable moment a father witnessed his son swallowed and then spat out by a humpback whale. Hey! It happened when the pair were kayaking on the icy waters of Chile's southernmost Patagonia region. The father was recording the experience when an enormous whale suddenly breached the surface and swallowed his 24-year-old son, kayak and all. A few tense seconds later, the man and his vessel surface again, seemingly spat out by the massive mammal. The father can be heard telling his son to remain calm and grab onto the craft. In an interview, the son later said in the surreal moment he thought he was going to die until his life vest pulled him back to the surface. Seemingly undeterred by this whale of a terrifying tale, when asked if they would kayak again, the pair replied, "Of course." From a heart-stopping story to a heart-warming one. This 99-year-old sports fan celebrated a Miami milestone, attending her very first Heat basketball game ever after decades of fervent fandom from afar. WFOR reports Marie Paredes got a courtside view of the action and even got to meet some players. I will for you. It's all thanks to her nephew, who arranged the excursion to ensure that after 40 years of supporting the team, Paredes got to see them live before crossing the century mark.
She loves all the players, never misses a game, and she was just telling me this summer how much she loves it. I said, I got to get her a game. She's coming up on 100, this a special event for her.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, certainly great to see. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, bottoms up, raise your glass and make a toast today because it's National Drink Wine Day. It's observed every year on February 18th. Not that we need any excuse to drink wine, but it certainly helps to have an observance that actually tells you to indulge. Wine is more than just delicious and buzz-inducing. It can also enhance the flavor of food, and some research shows that in moderation, it can also be good for your health.
And we have our alert day today, and it's the heavy snow that is the good reason why. You can see we've had the reduced visibilities. It's come down fast enough here at 7th and Range Line that it's stuck to the parking lot at Forest Park. It is also sticking to parts of 7th Street and to Range Line Road. While the heavy snow throughout the day, our highs have, most of us, we've already reached them. Temperatures will be slowly falling as we head through the morning hours out there. So again, we had early highs into the upper teens, even some low 20s. All right, and that's we're not going to see that again. Temperatures continue to drop. Northeast winds gusting to 30, leading to dangerously cold wind chills. So again, that's why we also have the alert days, not just today, but tomorrow and Thursday, because we're talking wind chills up to 15 or down to 15 below zero. And this morning, it's some of our communities along 54 in southeast Kansas already seeing those wind chills 10 to 12 below zero at this point. So we're not messing around. The snow and with the wind also is going to create the problem of some near blizzard-like conditions, especially as we head into the afternoon and this snow really ramps up. So again, emphasizing, if you do not need to be out, don't. Okay, not today and probably not tomorrow. School closings, organization closings, early dismissals, early closures, all of that at the bottom of your screen and on our website. So keep that in mind. That's another good list of reasons not to go outside at all today. And also, I know a number of school districts have already canceled for tomorrow as well. I'm sure there will be more adding to that list because you try clearing, 9 to 13 inches of snow in the bitter cold on every road in a day. It's not going to happen. The road crews are great, but they're not that fast, and they are not miracle workers, but they do an awesome job. So we got to let them do that. Down to 0 tonight. Temperatures 11 tomorrow, 15 Thursday. Warmer next week. We'll be back after this.